I know you guys had to wait at home. We are so sorry we had some technical difficulties. Honestly, we were waiting for Na'Vi to finish their game, actually, against Connecting. And speaking of, I think we should bring up the bracket to see exactly what results we have now on the board, because the scores are in. We can finally get on with things on the main stage and have a really good series that we've been preparing for. As you can see, Na'Vi, they did beat Connecting. They are in the quarters. They're going to be facing online Warriors. But things can get a little bit mixy, can't they? Especially with brackets, especially with pool play, round robins, also open bracket teams coming in. Gaskin, you got a little smile on your face.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even a technical difficulty. It's literally because there could have been a three-way tie.
They could
so
have.
This game on main stage could not start until that was definitely not possible to happen, and by Na'Vi winning 3-0, it could not happen. So now we guaranteed to have this bracket. That is 100% confirmation.
There we go.
No three-way ties are going to happen in the pool play anymore. So this is definitely what you're going to see on your screens throughout this weekend.
It certainly is. Let's take a look at the definite elimination bracket as well. We have Witchblades. We have Omo.io Gaming. We got Frostbite, Leftovers, Diamond Dogs, BH3 Esports, and Trash Can Esport as well. I know you're laughing at me. What have I said wrong then, Sher?
Your eyesight's getting better.
Just a mojo
A
gaming.
mojo?
Yeah,
oh, wow. My
yeah.
eyesight's so good, guys. I think I need glasses on the desk. So that's a new one. Yeah. It's like this. I'll tell you what, something I can see is that we're going to have an incredible series on our hands on the main stage. I'm really excited to get into this one. We've got JLINGZ versus Blackhand. They're getting prepared right now, but I want to know how they're feeling about their matchup, how they're feeling about the weekend. So let's take a look at this.
Out of sheer respect for Blackhand, for what we've seen, and the fact that the online performances tipped the balance in their favor, I think this will not be a 3-0 to JLINGZ. I think what we actually will see is a very closely contested series. This could go the distance, Game 5, and with how the last couple of games went, the Slayers are going to be so important. Can Blackhand tighten that ship? Yeah,
indeed. I've got to say, though, Blackhand's Glory yesterday was really making a name for himself on that main stage. Lethal, what are you expecting out of him right now against JLINGZ?
Well, it's going to be difficult to see much more because he's played so well before, and the fact that he's an absolute demon on the server on numerous occasions, and now back here in the LAN environment, it's fantastic to see, because we was worried about that adaptation and that transition, but seems to be right at home, seems to be perfectly fine, just treating it as though he's in his bedroom pretty much, and one of the biggest main slayers potentially in the circuit, especially in the future. But for JLINGZ now, of course, we've mentioned it before, and we'll say it again, like we've beaten them in scrims, they've been in other matches in the past, but coming to it in a LAN environment, this is going to be very true and very different for them here, because this is the strongest I've seen Blackhand ever, and I really feel like it's not only going to go the distance, but easily go to a Game 5.
My heart is torn up there. I've got two Irish players playing against one another. I've got my cousin on one side, I've got a man from Cork on the other side. What I really want to see is just a full Irish team. I want Jersey 2, I want Glory, I want Qristola, and I want to be carried. I want to be carried, yes, absolutely. I deserve it. I'm getting old. The thumbs don't do what they used to.
I'll tell you what, you transitioned well, though, into your analyst caster role, Jersey, so I don't want to lose you anytime soon. But I'll tell you what, I do want to lose the desk, though, and get into that series on the main stage. We've got JLINGZ versus Blackhand up there. We also have two phenomenal casters, Bravo and Onset.
Thank you very much, Lottie. You're completely right. We are phenomenal, and we're ready to get into this game. We've been looking forward to this one, Andy. Let's be real. This is where the tournament does really start. We're getting into our championship bracket. We're on the winner's side of things, and we've got two teams who have been mighty impressive so far here in Valencia.
I mean, this is going to be fantastic. There's a reason there's a certain amount of hype and aura around this matchup here. Both teams, of course, decked out in the black and white, same team colors, but only one team will advance now in the brackets. We are officially into bracket play. JLINGZ versus Blackhand in your quarterfinals.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this one, man. I'm literally jumping up and down on the spot. Just want to get into these games, and these are the games we're going to have in front of us in this quarterfinal. We've got Oddball Streets to start off with. What a way to start this series. Arguably one of the most closely fought game types between very tightly contested teams. You've really got to be on top of absolutely all of your fundamentals of Halo to come out on top here.
You do a fantastic game type indeed to start off this series, and it's been a lot of talk about JLINGZ. Are they the dark horse? Are they the biggest threat to that top three and even deeper here in this tournament?
Copy and paste that. You could say exactly the same thing about the other side of the stage. Blackhand looking to cause some upsets and almost did it against Na'Vi yesterday. But we're underway here. Rockets and an early double kill coming in for Septiq. That's how you want to just get a little bit of confidence and momentum on your side.
Nothing like that, just a little bit of a freebie there on the Rocket. Doesn't even take any damage in doing so, and Septiq going to be very happy with that. No stranger to the main stage, Septiq.
No, certainly not. He knows how to get business done, and I think that Septiq's going to want to really make a statement here as well. I think there's a lot of talk in Europe about some of the superstar players, right? You're talking about Chick, Legend, all of these big names. Septiq wants to be involved in that conversation. A big series here and a big day tomorrow. If JLINGZ do manage to keep this kind of momentum up, they'll be feeling very, very good about things.
Finally does fall there. Thrust in the back pocket as well, so that's going to eventually be picked up here by Lunny on your screen. And like you said, Blackhead, a team that we've talked about a lot, and I think has impressed a lot of people as well this weekend. Tightly contested. If you didn't catch it, Game 5 against Na'Vi in the end, where they fell in a series that you heard them say maybe they should have won. And now a chance to right that wrong today on Saturday.
And I think Glory is going to be a player who is going to have to continue to impress here. Unfortunately for him, Quadios has got the Stalker rifle and a right cross to put him on his back for now. And Glory, so impressive yesterday. But at the start of this game and the start of the series, 0-3, we're going to see how the newcomer bounces back from that slow start.
Let's see, Quad takes down, and as we said, a little shake of the head there. Always very animated there on the main stage, and you always know how Quad's feeling.
Well, for now, it's a very tight start between the two teams. You can see 1 point is separating them. Qristola with a nice headshot onto EbbY just to give a little bit of a numbers advantage back, maybe into the favor of JLINGZ. 2 dead still in the death screen here for Blackhand.
Love what we're seeing off this opening. This is what we expected to see in this series with these teams really respecting each other. There's only 7 points for JLINGZ and 8 for Blackhand here. It's an opportunity for an early Astro listen-in with the side of JLINGZ. Let's hear how the comms are in this tightly contested game number 1.
Nice, we can milk it. I'm gonna milk.
We come.
Tires, rocks, Casey. Maybe laundry or some shit? I don't know. I'm just milking bucket.
Real. He went stairs. Two on pad right now, boys. Be stairs,
Pull it, Lunny, weak. Waste the rockets, waste the one. He's tires now. Lunny.
Watch on tires.
Rockets, nice. Waste rocks now. One shot from bricks. Tires again, Chris.
This ball, we're down.
Tires again, Chris. Square chasing you as well.
Top rail.
One in tires.
Top rail, still hiding there. OC went power, I think. Still rail.
I'm looking power.
I'm tires, guys.
Still power, no shit. Watch a B-stairs. No shit power, again.
Lunny's somewhere there as well, power.
One dead. One's on purple. Purple ball, last two.
Push it.
Played it. I can catch it.
Watch him, Glory.
I'm taking 2 in back here, let's go.
One shot back here, guys. Still one shot there.
Nice.
We gotta set up, boys.
I'm looking B. I can watch all the mid with ball.
Go one purple, can we help?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hey, hold cap.
Maybe Chris.
One's bomb C. Yo, laundry already. Laundry.
Lunny's dead.
Laundry.
Right, one tires.
No, he's laundry now.
That's nice, man.
Do that, boys.
Stay alive again. One shot shotgun.
Live up, Chris.
Weak, purple. One shot here.
He's full shield.
Weak. EbbY.
There we go, Kier.
Nice.
One more shotgun side, Mysta.
I can drop an help.
Help Kier, guys. Help Kier.
One shot, Lunny. One shot, Mysta. Absolute
Go
L.
on.
Nice. One more.
Lunny weak, mate. Two guys there.
I'm here back to you, Rob.
Lunny's weak.
Yeah, peace with you.
I'm showing. Cap was weak. Glory dead. Lunny was there.
Absolutely. Guys, one shot.
One shot. Okay, nice. 2 dead here. Front A, guys. Front A.
Quick.
Weak.
The one cap, boys.
We hear the communication here from JLINGZ sounding pretty crisp, pretty calm, and trying not to get carried away with the emotion of what is a tough series. But you noticed something almost immediately when we jumped into that listening about the gameplay from JLINGZ and how they were trying to move that ball.
Yeah, comms certainly sound good. We have a lot more points on the board as well. Keep in mind, it's a 1-point game now. It's a 20-point game. JLINGZ will take advantage of that. But I think one thing they missed there, of course, it's easy for us to say, either watching from the casting booth or you watching from home as well, but missed opportunity for a rotate there. Over-indexing on L and Neons definitely provided an opportunity for something like a PD into tires, into arcade rotate for JLINGZ there. So hoping to see them maybe take advantage of those situations a little bit faster in future opportunities.
It's 2v2 on the map at the moment, and Qristola is going to prioritize that objective. Is it the time to do it? The answer is yes, because he's got Morguhhh to give him the support to force this ball back in towards Tram. Now you can see he's got multiple teammates with him. He's also got a shotgun, so I like that little bit of communication. You take the oddball quad, I've got that up-close weapon, I'm going to be able to hold it down.
Shake of the head.
So is Quadios.
Quadios there, a little shake of the head, winning a battle against EbbY, where both players were admittedly windmilling just a bit, and there's a few whiffs and a few windmills in the back of Tram, getting a little windy.
Yeah, this is like a pub fight after everyone's had a few too many. Nobody really connected, but a lot of punches being thrown. Lunny now trying to do some damage with that Stalker rifle and needs to do so as well. Blackhand finding their way back into this game. It's 47-38 and rising. Blackhand with a little bit of a transitional setup like we talk about. 2 players kind of watching mid, trying to pressurize these cafe spawners, and Lunny doing some damage as well, but Qristola has picked up 2. Now 1 other player has managed to sneak through. 1 here for Lunny. If he can clean up this second kill, this would be huge for them, but can't quite connect.
Misplaced the spiker there. That should have been a freebie and a half, that kill on Morguhhh bottom middle, but instead Morguhhh and Quadios will actually, Qristola will start to actually rotate there on C. Lunny, though, the man on your screen, actually Morguhhh in the end will fall, so Lunny will get the last lap for just a moment. Lunny, by the way, 15-7 already.
15-7, but you can see the pressure starting to tell here for BLVKHVND. They're getting a little bit desperate. They're trying to force these final kills, and Mysta should be able to clean this one up, and that would have been a 4-dead situation. They have turned it into 4-dead. JLINGZ now all coming off the respawn, and when they engage with this ball carrier Mysta, you would imagine that the lead will change. That's exactly what's going to happen here. It's a 1-point lead and rising as JLINGZ find themselves under pressure now.
Wow, yeah, great stuff here from BLVKHVND. I got to say it. I think they're taking advantage of a little bit of the gaps in JLINGZ's armor here. Now 2 dead, about to be 3, I bet. 3 dead. Morguhhh's last player lap bottom middle gets away with the rockets, but probably won't. That's 4 dead. BLVKHVND will continue scoring, and they will get full rocks.
Also have the Stalker Rifle down there as well, so if Mysta can time this right and get behind these players, he spotted out Septiq. If I'm him right now, I'm running away. I'm saving these rockets for the close quarter battles that are going to happen in and around Tram. Force them to come to you, but at the moment he's overextending.
Wow.
That is just a little bit of a selfish play, in my opinion. He's looking for kills instead of holding angles, and look what's happened off the back of it. You cannot get a 4-dead situation, have the power weapons in your hand, and give away all of the deaths that you need to, and also a setup now to their opponents.
I think it's a lack of information, and it's still their fault. That doesn't change that they should have played that differently. Pop, pop, pop. Lunny actually 4 Bulldog shots plus 2 melees. Kills him 3 times, I think, in the end before that battle was done. But it's a lack of information for the side of BLVKHVND. You saw the players pushing driveway immediately. And guess what? They take rockets up to the rail. Then they take rockets to front A. And before he knows it, he's getting shot from front C, saying, what the hell's going on? Lack of information there. They need to make sure they're watching driveway like a hawk there. They got Red Room spawned on. They did not realize it, and it cost them. Now this game is closed. 26 seconds left.
Oh, the firing squad comes up the stairs,
What
and
did we say?
JLINGZ, they flush out Lunny, and even though he was teabagging and maybe hitting a few bodies a few seconds ago, it's JLINGZ who might have the last laugh here. It's only a couple of points between the two teams. Wherever these kill goes, that's where the round's going to go here. This is a massive moment as JLINGZ find themselves 3 dead.
3 dead. Where's the ball grab from EbbY?
EbbY's
There
got
it is with 6 seconds left. He's going to just grab this Q3. It's all up to Quadios.
Quadios is on the flank here.
They don't know.
Quadios does get taken down though. Lunny gets that kill.
Wow.
That was the win condition. And now as the time ticks down, it will be BLVKHVND who take the first round here in Oddball.
Oh my God, and they do it by 1 second. Lunny 19-9 in that first round.
I mean, Lunny, we saw how he's fired up for this series. We saw it yesterday as well. He's taken a little bit of a leadership role here on this BLVKHVND team. He's the one dishing out the comms, dishing out the info to his teammates, and they're responding to him. Glory, by the way, I want to say in that end game, he was a little bit slow statistically, but he was picking up so many vital kills to create openings for his team.
What an ending to that first round. That was absolutely unbelievable. And if you're on the side of JLINGZ, you're wondering what on earth just happened. How did we let that occur with that back trim hold?
I mean, look at the stats. JLINGZ outslaying massively in comparison to BLVKHVND. Outside of Lunny, who is the outstanding statistic without a doubt, there's no reason if you're picking up that many kills on the map, you shouldn't have the oddball time to go alongside it.
A surprising ending to that first game. It is perfectly played in the end by BLVKHVND, and all that JLINGZ momentum from day number 1. You got to wonder, how are they going to find some footing here to get a little bit of a foothold and tie up this game?
For now, again, a very similar start from what we saw in that first round. Not many points on the board, a consistent battle for map control, and more importantly, kind of to phrase it, a battle for numbers. And EbbY thought he could slide through the shield, but he's going to take too much damage on his way into 2 players here. Glory now, he's getting hyped again because JLINGZ find themselves 3 dead once more. That was actually 4 dead. You can see Septiq spawn. He's right across the map, and BLVKHVND now have that set up around the tower.
Wow, Glory here. We talked about his interviews yesterday. Confident, ready to be here, and could not be more excited to be on the main stage. Goes for the commando drop. Almost converts on Quadios, but can't do that. 2 dead for BLVKHVND.
Yeah, BLVKHVND had an opportunity there that they might have missed a little bit. It's only 20-1. And they just didn't get the information quick enough or collapse on those PD spawners and Arcade just to do the damage they need to slow that push down and convert off the back of it into ball time. For now, though, you can see that BLVKHVND do have the lead. It's very, very slim, and you can also see that JLINGZ are trying to just scrap away at it as they have that ball in hand once more.
What a game number 1 here we got between these two teams. When we got into bracket play, we were hoping we'd see something like this, and this series has already delivered. It's a small lead here for BLVKHVND in this round as well. Let's go into an Astro Listen with BLVKHVND.
I might die.
We're fine.
One's driveway, one's B rail, be weak. Quadios, he's 1.
David.
One shot Septiq as well.
Tires, I'm dead, fuck, sorry. He's weak and tires. Absolute tires, absolute. You can get him, Shaw, you can get him.
Coming back. No, live. I got rock PD weak.
This one cap, guys.
Weak front tires, first kill. One shot.
Got it.
And one shot back there.
Close. Spiking tires. Let's go,
Got
guys.
two. PD. Yeah, PD.
And for A, bottom A, agent.
PD first
He's
kill.
one shot agent.
Back
Nice.
last guy.
Nice, catch it.
Three.
Good shit, Ebbie, good shit.
I spawn PD. I'm getting up red straight away. Fuck it, watch your P. Blue.
Spawn PD.
Red stairs, P.
I'm getting heaven, give me a
They're
second.
gonna go driveway. They're all just pushing me now.
Live. Can't see him.
They're gonna be B,
Red.
Yeah, they're in arcade now. I know.
Oh, they're all B,
Drop ball.
Yeah, you need to get rid of this.
Slay.
Slay together.
Help each other
Nice
PD.
shot.
Nice.
Nice.
Anyone else on shot?
PD.
He's weak,
One shot
back
PD.
C. One shot back PD. He's there.
I spawn, I can push pink.
Nice,
I can
Ebbby.
push pink with you, Case.
Yeah, I hear that.
I mean, considering the amount of pressure on the shoulders of both of these teams in this series, you can hear the Blackhand sound pretty calm about things. And why wouldn't you? A 56 to 16 point lead at the moment, and the game's seeming a little bit too easy for them at this point, Andy. They're picking up the slays, they're making sure the numbers are getting taken care of, and the stragglers aren't even able to survive here for JLINGZ.
Yeah, it feels like they're really picking up on a little bit of momentum as well. Some good damage in PD there, making sure that those kills are cleaned up. They're being very selective and intentional about what damage they're getting and where with their last 1 or 2 players alive, which has been the difference maker. They're still doubling the score of their opponent here.
JLINGZ have got that ball back to Tram though. Really impressive decision-making, though, I will say here from Mysta, to deal with Qristola, who's the most important kill on the map right now. He's running around with that Bulldog. Lunny is going to be able to help him out in doing so, but by clearing out that player who was flanking him, means now they can control all of their intentions forward. Lunny with yet another kill on all this space created means that now Mysta has the rockets in his hand, and Qristola, you're about to explode, my friends.
Man, nice use of the thrust there as well to use the last boom. Picks up another kill. They will still have a minor man advantage, and we'll see where GloryGGz goes and rotates this ball. But still really good presence and really good points on the board. 57-30 in round number 2.
Already taken down for Blackhand. They lose 2 players in quick succession. Both the battles were caught by the observing team as well. And now GloryGGz going to grab that ball anyway. He's going to move it towards where the spawners are. And this is the difference, right? JLINGZ found themselves in a little bit of a similar situation previously in the previous round. Did not make that rotate. Did not think about transitioning that ball towards spawners. And you can see just a little bit more points on the board. A few more just ticking upwards. Makes that JLINGZ pressure feel even heavier than it did a few moments earlier.
Ooh, that's a big kill in the back. Qristola taking down Glory will make it 2-2 in the back of the base instead of a 3-1 scenario. Chris will actually drop the ball in what looked like a play ball, but will get a kill as well.
He's got spawners coming to help him. Ebby's there, though, to put pressure on once more. Now Morguhhh finds himself in a 1v1 situation. And Lunny's just going to grab that ball and bring it back in towards EbbY and his teammates. So JLINGZ kind of funneling in here towards the driveway, and EbbY's just kind of the gatekeeper. He's saying, hey, you try and push, you're going to take damage, and I'm backing my teammates to pick up those kills when they need to.
Really interesting numbers across the board. Both teams have 2 players positive, 2 players negative right now. So really similar in terms of which players are stepping up here, which players are dealing the assists and the damage and things of that nature. 2 dead still for Blackhand. JLINGZ looking to convert here from bench's grab.
He's get this ball back into Tram. The damage is done by the grenade, but not enough to take Morguhhh down as he patrols his way back in towards Tram. And you can see that they're kind of leaning left at the moment, trying to put pressure on the Pink Street, and understandably, because this player's just flying down Pink Street here from Blackhand. Morguhhh finds himself in a position where he has to do more work than maybe he would have wanted, but the work is getting done. But Lunny has the rockets again. How many sets of rockets have we seen in the hands of Blackhand? It seems like every single set they've managed to pick up.
That's right, they're just stacking numbers. They're sending 2 generally bottom middle, and if one player falls, you saw it earlier as well, just challenging from bottom middle to take the players off of C-Balk and areas like that. It will still be 71-56 in favor of Blackhand, but the time will continue ticking up for JLINGZ.
And with only 59 seconds left on the clock, it looks like we're in for a very similar finish in this round than what we saw in the previous one as well. Quadios has fallen, and the lead is still here for Blackhand, but Morguhhh, with those perfect shots with the Stalker Rifle, now has so much responsibility. He knows he's going to get pushed by Lunny. Lunny takes some damage, but the Oddball's been stolen away here. It's been taken like a thief by Glory, stealing that ball away, putting some extra time on the board, and now they've got it back into Tram again.
Glory stays alive. Probably wanted to rotate the ball with him because they're losing a few seconds here. He did not get it up the C stairs. That's going to make them fight a little bit harder here for this reset, but still 2-2.
2-2 players on the map. Ball down in an awkward situation. You can see that Glory's trying to bait it at the moment. He knows that he can't afford to die in this situation. He is the man who can do damage. Quadios also knows that. It's a beautiful thrust from Quadios, but at least Glory got the trade in that situation. Morguhhh now, he comes in on the flank. JLINGZ need the ball time. Mysta wins a huge power against Morguhhh. And now JLINGZ are feeling the pressure. It's 7 points between the two teams, but Septiq is scarpering away with that ball.
He's going to go top A here. He's not going to play the ball. He's actually going to stay alive. Back A, 15 seconds left. Tied here with 13 seconds left. Clock continuing to tick down.
Quad.
Oh my god.
Trying to survive, but they sniff them out here. The most important kill gets picked up by BLVKHVND, and they go back into a lead. With only 7 seconds remaining, EbbY just has to stay alive. He has to just guard that ball with his life, and that will be the first map going to BLVKHVND. And I tell you what, under pressure, they just dealt with it so well.
Oh my god, and did they ever bounce back there? And even though JLINGZ using their trademark flying together, flying into tram, just putting numbers on the map, BLVKHVND answers back, and in a huge and confident way, 2-0 in rounds in game number 1.
Really impressive from BLVKHVND as well. Let's not get it wrong though, that was incredibly close between both teams, but you can almost pick out the moments, right? The shotgun battle not won by Morguhhh and that final push outside of tram. He wins that, they've got numbers, they can do damage, and maybe they can set up in tram instead of having to force Septiq to scarper away towards the pink street where they didn't really have numbers and he has to take damage. Those little moments, they're what turn into round wins, and you can look at the ball time between the two teams over the 2 rounds. Only a few seconds separated them. It was about as close as you could ask for.
33 and 21 from Lunny, the only member in the 30 club. Big numbers from him, and you can imagine with a score that tight, that is an enormous contributing factor to the final score.
100%, but if I'm looking at those stats and I'm on JLINGZ right now, I'm thinking, someone pick the ball up. Someone pick the ball up, or maybe our routes aren't good enough, because there's no excuse.
I think it's routes, and I think it's rotations. I think I was worried from the first failed rotation opportunity, to be honest, in that first game that we talked about, in the first round, excuse me. But I mean, everything was there on the table, right? JLINGZ had it all to play for, and I think it was failed rotations. And we should also mention great pressure from BLVKHVND. Off of the spawns, they made sure that those rotations would be difficult. And look at this from Lunny. He's about to give it some extra love as well. Little taps and little bags.
Yeah, a little bit of extra whack on the fries is always going to be a good thing for sure, as EbbY had a little bit of a slow game, but he was also in a position to make some good plays under pressure, and I think that's one thing that really stood out. Lunny, though, I think certainly the standout player, without doubt, in that game, because without him, without those kills he was picking up, I think JLINGZ run away with that, but I think that's a missed opportunity for JLINGZ. You look at the stats, you look at the slays, you look at the opportunities to hold and rotate. They missed out here, and now you're heading into a Slayer. Before you know it, as we know with Slayer being game 2, you could be 2-0 down.
Absolutely. Also, EbbY showing us a new play ball technique there, with the outside of the left foot just slides and kicks the ball into PD. Pretty impressive stuff.
Lionel Messi-esque. Like, open yourself up.
Nice left foot. Next up, Live Fire Slayer. We'll see if BLVKHVND can repeat, take a 2-0 lead in the series, and quite a lead it would be over a team like JLINGZ.
Well, BLVKHVND, we saw them play this against Na'Vi in that game 5 yesterday, and they didn't come off on the right side of it, but also maybe playing that against a team like Na'Vi has taught them a few lessons on how they do want to approach it. There were times in that game where BLVKHVND will probably think, we got this in the bag.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big comeback, actually, at one point. So a 5-6 kill swing that happened in Na'Vi's favor. And it obviously went down to those final kills. I think it finished at 50-48, if I'm not mistaken, with Kimbo picking up that last kill with the back tower. But for JLINGZ, that's probably a worrying sign as well, because knowing that they've got that experience, and there's one thing for these teams who are the highest seeded teams, they haven't played against some of the better teams against each other, so they don't have that experience. Na'Vi BLVKHVND have that with the series against Na'Vi yesterday under their belts, and if you're JLINGZ right now, you've got to hope that your slaying prowess carries over from game 1 and you can turn it into a map win.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think I got a chance to catch up with Lunny after that series, and I thought, I had to ask him, I said, you realize what happened back tower? Jimbo was not trying to repulsor you at all. You were the unlucky recipient of an unintentional repulsor. Lunny gets thrown off the map, changes the numbers completely, and Lunny said it before I could even get it out of my mouth. I said, you guys win that series if Jimbo doesn't accidentally repulsor you off the map instead of his intended target. He said, couldn't agree more. Kimbo can never push. They would have 2v1 Jimbo and actually would have beat Na'Vi in groups, which would have been huge. Like you said, they're going to be thinking about that here and making sure that they clutch up in game number 2.
I'm going to look to right the wrongs of what happened yesterday, and for JLINGZ, the pressure will be felt if they do not take this one home and send us into game 3 all tied up. We always say when you get through a series, every match becomes more and more important, and we're only in map 2 here, and you can already feel how important this one is for both sides of things. It's going to be Live Fire Slayer, and I've got to be honest, eyes here on Septiq, who's immediately flying towards that sniper rifle.
Frosty-esque in his approach to that sniper rifle. Just goes straight in confidently, tries to make it happen and connect, but a little bit of chaos bottom middle. Heatwave still down.
EbbY's
sniper
still alive,
down
by
as
the
well.
way.
EbbY's going full Qristola bottom middle.
Still jumping. Finally he goes down, and now the sniper rifle will be picked up. This is carnage. This is down bottom middle at the moment. This is like a rumble pit game.
This is absolute carnage bottom middle, and normally you'd see teams after a game like that maybe slow down, show a little bit of respect to each other, but no, they're flying in, they're going for the throat. It's an early overshield for Glory here, the young gun with a Heatwave overshield combo in hand.
So Glory now with a lot of responsibility. You can see he's trying to be aggressive. Looks like JLINGZ are kind of backed off here. Maybe trying to milk a little bit of time off that overshield, but Lunny is going to get that opening damage, and you ain't going to get out of here, Septiq. He takes his own life and falls off of the back of green after the damage was done, and now you're looking at the score start to elevate. You've got Lunny with a sniper. You had the overshield and, of course, the Heatwave. All of them in the hands of Blackhand. They need to turn this into a lead.
7-4 now. Blackhand continuing to rack up some points, but some good answers, and it feels like the action slows down for a second, and then it's pure carnage once again. That's this time now on dummies and C-flat as well, so it will be 9-6 in favor of Blackhand off of the push, and maybe a small opportunity for JLINGZ to reset.
Yeah, Blackhand is interesting for me, that play, because they had everything, right? They got the early pick, and then they just seem to be a bit over-aggressive, unnecessarily. You've got the sniper right, wait for damage. Use the Heatwave to hold some angles, pick players off, create opportunities. They didn't do that at that point, and it seems like now the weapons are out of their hands, they're actually playing a little bit better because they're playing as a squad. Now Glory has the opportunity with the sniper rifle maybe to connect with a few shots, sees where Morguhhh is, but this is a massive moment in this game as the overshield already has turned into a lead here for Blackhand.
Massive indeed. EbbY did so well to protect his sniper here. Glory sitting back and trying to connect. Oh boy, the green gun comes in, 15-8 though. But at this moment here with the overshield grab coming up, it's a good opportunity to jump into an Astro. Listen in with the side of Blackhand. Let's see if they can continue this at 17-9.
We're not with you, we're not with you now.
I'm going to be back tower. I'm back B here. I'm back B. I am watching you do something.
Top tower is weak.
I'm going.
He dropped back.
You guys watch our back tower.
I'm with you. Yes.
Okay, so really big back tower. You guys. Oh, fuck.
Ah, fuck. One shot nest.
No, you're good.
Hear that. Guys, listen when we say don't go. Yeah? You guys are... One shot.
The other one's full. Leave him.
Leave him. Tower with Heatwave. They have weapons.
There's two more in tower.
Two there. Nice. One shot C-plat as well. He's got weapons though. He's got weapons. Ah, dude, there's another guy there. My bad. I live. Leave EbbY. I'm watching you. Can we try and get B?
One's up B already.
You by yourself, David. Fuck it. Snipe. Alright, let's go, guys. I'm behind you.
C-plat weak. There's three.
You guys there. C-box, super weak.
All weak.
Watch pillars.
Another C-box still.
Yeah, it's weak.
Drop. Oh, sharp. Well, if you can watch, yeah, nice. That's
Another guy, pillars on me.
Live up. I'm not pushing that.
Reset. Yep. Good shit.
Nest.
Work case. One shot in B.
Absolutely.
Hear that. One shot nest as well.
Let's fight these guys.
Two guy nest.
I got one.
Another guy nest. There's bot, pillars.
Lovely.
Septiq is.
Top mid pushing C right now. Watch bridge.
Well, it's 26-15, and all of a sudden, Blackhand have come to life in this. The weapons in the hands of Lunny and Glory's, and they're turning them into kills.
Could not be more impressed with this side. You even heard, look at the decision making from Glory saying, I'm not pushing pillars there. We don't need to push back tower, leave the full shield player. Like we said, an up and coming player here, Glory. So impressed with him on the main stage. 26-17 now. They lead a very comfortable margin for them.
And you can hear the passion in the comments from Lunny as well. Yeah, there's some colourful language, but if there's a time for some colourful language, it's in a series like this for sure. He's showing how much he means, and that is 3 overshields now, back to back for Blackhand, and that is why the score is getting out of hand.
And the late pop here from EbbY too as well. Going to now go Kedor, think about Rat Tunnel. He's got a lot of opponents he's about to run into, so we'll see if he has any help, and he does. He's going to be the cleanup crew. Already picks up 2. No chance for Quad in the back. Might be 4 dead in just a second. That'll be a full wipe. All 4 dead on JLINGZ, and this is clinical from Blackhand.
And look at the pressure they're already putting onto respawners as well. EbbY is flowing across live fire here. Qristola just trying to survive, but there's the teamwork again. Every single player right now on Blackhand is working so well together. The baiting and switching, the finishing of the kills, it has been exemplary.
Wow, 11-5 from Lunny. EbbY right alongside him, also 11-5. Now, numbers will tick up even more before I can even finish my sentence. 38-21. If we're honest, this is probably a done deal.
JLINGZ are going to be reeling right now. JLINGZ are reeling right now. And EbbY is looking to keep pressure on once more. EbbY somehow actually gets a kill across the board, and it's actually Glory's POV that we're watching right now. So his commando, unfortunately, will not work as it goes into the deep waters for a few seconds, but 10 kills to go now for Blackhand. You can't see him throwing this one away.
You really can't there. I think it's a little bit too late for JLINGZ. They have not left enough room for themselves to get back into this game. It's quite a tall task ahead of them, but they're going to give it their best shot here. 6.5 left, 14 kill difference.
I mean, first thing to do is get an overshield. It's as simple as that. You let 3 fall through your fingers so far in this game, and it's no surprise to see the score as it is. You know, if you've got an overshielded player running at you, it's usual you're going to lose at least 3 for 1 in a trade, in a team fight, just because of those extra layers of shield, and obviously the recent buff to the OS is going to make that even more painful to deal with. And with EbbY and Mysta picking up kills, Septiq's just kind of staring at the overshield, knowing this is not going to be going in their hands, and the game probably slipping through the fingers as well.
What a collapse there. Now Mysta's going to pop the overshield. Home stretch here, 45 to 27. Only 5 more kills to go for Blackhand.
4 out of 4. It has been perfect power-up control. Mysta now flying in. Septiq just about gets finished. Glory's got the sniper rifle. And if you want a game of control, you want to win a game of Slayer, this has been perfect for Blackhand. When you don't have the weapons, you work together. You make sure you pick up the power-ups, you put the power weapons to use, and you end up with a score like you're seeing now.
48 to 28. A lot of talk about this JLINGZ side. Make it 49. Only 1 more kill to go.
Finish it with style, Glory. Finish it with style. Instead, it's going to be Qristola. He keeps the game alive. But for how long is the question? Let's see if Glory can hit a snipe to close things out. Qristola! Irishman versus Irishman. Maybe a no-scope. Maybe it'll be EbbY with a trade. Whatever it is, it's fine. For Blackhand, they go 2 up in the series with a dominant Game 2 performance.
EbbY 17-9, I believe, in that game. And what a way to put the team on your back in a Game 2 Slayer, taking the lead 2-0 over JLINGZ. I had started to say it, but to be honest, they were ending the game too quickly. A lot of talk about this JLINGZ side, but you brought it up before the series started. Blackhand wants to remind everyone why they too are a dark horse that has been slept on.
Yeah, they have looked very, very good. And now you can see why Na'Vi had so many problems yesterday. And watching this series, it almost feels like the performance from Na'Vi yesterday was more impressive than we gave it credit for, because Blackhand have looked superb so far in this series. And it's that aggressive, swarming playstyle we're seeing from them that is just stifling the kind of slower, methodical approach that we saw from JLINGZ yesterday.
Absolutely. And as we said, so impressive Blackhand so far. It's a 50-32. They almost stake JLINGZ, and the young guns versus the old guard in this series in many ways. Let's take a look at the numbers. As we said, EbbY, the German player, 17-9 in that game. Huge numbers to help the team get a convincing victory over JLINGZ.
I mean, you look at EbbY in that first game, stats didn't look great. Made some decent plays, but they got that win. Going into Game 2, you're looking at the players who are a little bit slow in Game 1 to maybe pick things up, really to put the pressure on, and now everyone is firing on this Blackhand team. EbbY, with that performance, like you said, really creating opportunities, but JLINGZ just let too many things slip through their fingers. You cannot expect to win a Slayer if you lose 4 overshields in a row, if you don't have the sniper in your hands, and you just let the heat wave go into your opponent's grip as well. It was really sloppy, to be honest, from JLINGZ. Even when they don't have those weapons, it was just too easy.
I think Septiq's POV, when he was sitting on scoreboard, summed it up, right? He has to check sandbags, he checks key door, he looks at the overshield, there's no help around, and he knew it was over. And then he gets swarmed by 3 players on the side of Blackhand, and almost staking the side of JLINGZ. And you gotta think JLINGZ definitely a bit stunned by the results so far.
Yeah, I think there will be. And to be honest with you, I'm expecting a 3-0 at this point, because JLINGZ looked like a beaten team. You've got to come out after a Game 1 loss like they took, which is a very close game, and really put Blackhand back under pressure. At no point in that game were JLINGZ putting Blackhand under pressure. It was too easy. It's as simple as that. You've got to call it what it is. Now there's an opportunity maybe for JLINGZ to bounce back in King of the Hill recharge, because of the fact that they've only got one objective at a time to focus on. They can play a little bit more strategic. They can slow the game down a little bit. Blackhand here, though, they're going to be wanting just to get straight into this game, because this is an opportunity to close things out.
They do.
3-0 on the board, and remind everyone that they're not just here to, you know, participate in the top 6. They want to force their way towards the grand final.
Certainly there. You actually might have caught Glory's watching, I believe it was Morguhhh, 1 or 2 players from the JLINGZ side, walking across the stage, just taking a quick backstage tactical timeout, and I'm not surprised as you see one empty chair there on the side. Of course, players
I'd be doing.
Yeah, these teams are given an option, of course, after certain games in a series, if they do need things like a bathroom break, things like a water break, etc. They get a little bit of a tactical timeout if they need it, and cannot blame the side of JLINGZ, because they do not want to race right into that game. They want a chance to reset. And if I'm honest, when we look at the type of game type in King of the Hill, this is going to be welcome for JLINGZ, right? Let's focus on one hill at a time. Let's get our setups down. We know what we need to do. If this was Strongholds, I would say the series is over.
I agree with you, and you took the words right out of my mouth here. Is the fact that JLINGZ have a game type now where they can kind of split it up into smaller segments and win small segments towards a map victory is so important for them. Look at that first hill, control it, go kill for kill, get the trades, work on that first hill. You know, it's bit by bit. It's not just a Slayer game type where you got people flying at you and Blackhand can really stifle you. On the other side of things, first hill, massive, massive. If JLINGZ want to get back into this, just to get some belief.
Absolutely.
Because at the moment, there's nothing to believe for them. They've just been outplayed completely.
Absolutely. They're going to be so happy that really, after the first few minutes of play, all that can happen is 1 point on the board, right? In any other game type, across this Halo Infinite suite of game types, you can go down by huge margins in just a couple minutes of play. But thankfully for JLINGZ, they can only go down by 1 point at a time. It will be an opportunity for them to slow things down and regroup as a squad. For Blackhand, though, they will look to continue the momentum, no doubt, off of these last 2 games.
And I want to take a second to talk about the performance of Lunny as well, because I think Lunny has been exceptional. Not just in this series, but against Na'Vi yesterday, he looked really, really good. Understandably, a lot of focus and a lot of attention and good words said about Glory. He's a new player, he's coming into the scene, he's impressed everyone, right? But Lunny, he's a veteran of the scene now. He's been playing for a number of years. He lives literally in the middle of, he lives quite close to where I live. Lives in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Literally in the middle of nowhere. His internet is awful. And he comes to LAN, and this is where he wants to perform, right? If you play on that kind of connection where you're doing what you can, essentially, to perform online, when you get to these live environments, it means even more, and you can see how well he is playing now that he has, you know, the LAN environment in front of him, the chance to impress everybody and really show what he's made of.
There he is there on your screen, and could not agree more. Also so interesting to hear him in a little bit of a vocal leadership role too, right? Even though you see him kind of reacting to things, and you heard, like you said, a little bit of colorful language as well, it's all in the spirit of closing out these games, and I've been really impressed with their comms as we've gotten a chance to get into 2 listen-ins with them as well. They seem confident even when they find themselves maybe 2 dead, 3 dead in a scenario they wish hadn't happened. They're able to bounce back very quickly.
Well, here we go then. It looks like the players are ready. Game 3, massive for both of these squads. Blackhand with a chance to 3-0 JLINGZ. In the winners' quarterfinals, JLINGZ need to find a spark here. They need to find anything to get them going at the start of this game. Number 3 is going to be King of the Hill Recharge, and that bottom mid hill is going to be a little bit of a fiesta going down.
I mean, if we thought that the first opening to that Slayer bottom middle was crazy, this is going to be an absolute bloodbath here without a doubt. The black and white of JLINGZ against the same colors here on Blackhand. So far, it's been all skulls all the way through. Can JLINGZ stay alive in the series? Jumping into King of the Hill on Recharge in just a moment.
Well, let's see whose opening strategy is going to be superior, and a lot can come off the back of that. Not just the camo pickup, of course, but the bottom mid hill is where that camo is going to be too. Qristola is going to come under pressure, but the pressure is dealt with. Trades across the board. Septiq, though, finds himself now as last alive. Mysta and Lunny, excuse me, are going to be able to put him under pressure, but a big 1v1 and surviving here from Septiq is going to reset the map.
Very nice play from Septiq. It will mean a forced camo for the side of Blackhand and a freebie. It'll be a grapple shock camo for Lunny. Entire game to play with here, and he's going to try to run the map.
Love how he's playing this, and I love how Blackhand in general are playing this. Not just jumping into that hill. Even though they have the advantages, he's going to play for a kill. That's exactly what he does, and now the objective can become the focus here for the team. But Lunny's got to deal with Quadios here. You cannot let this kind of kill get away. You certainly cannot get traded. And you can kind of just put a little bit of bait out, maybe put a leash onto Qristola and take your doggy for a walk.
Nice job there from Lunny. Yes, he had the camo, but still perfectly executed regardless. Will be some points on the board for JLINGZ, but Blackhand doesn't seem too bothered by it.
A little bit of a tick-tick there from the shock rifle. 3 players now in tower, and I like how Lunny's using that grapple to maneuver to protect his teammate who's inside of that hill. Very tight at the start of this game. Another little clip of the wings on Morguhhh, who now cannot push. And sometimes it's not all about the kills, right? We talk about this when we play in the playlist. I'm like, you don't have to push that kill. You've done the damage. That guy now cannot push the objective. We're good for 3 seconds on that side of the map.
Ooh, have to make sure to not get repulsed here. And Morguhhh probably not long for this world. Will get taken down. It's a great push from Glory and Lunny together at control.
Teamwork on point here for both teams, to be honest with you, in this battle. It's been baiting and switching. Lunny says, I don't want any of this. Septiq's going to be re-challenging, and Lunny says, I'll have a piece of this. EbbY's also in position to pick up some kills, but look at those bars at the bottom here. This elongated battle, if Lunny just no-scopes, it'll be hilarious, by the way. He bodies him, he hits him twice, and now Septiq still still alive. This battle will never end.
I'm wondering when Lunny's going to use his grapple.
Somebody kill someone!
Thank you. Got that he had the grapple, I'm convinced, that entire time. There was about 6 times where he could have used the grapple, whether he was fighting Hydro, whether he was fighting here. Maybe he's just going big brain and saving those grapples for a rainy day. But right now, we'll continue to see Blackhand scoring past the 50% mark on the first hill.
Everyone. Oh, that's a little bit better. Oh, my word. Lunny. Maybe he's just starting to warm up a little bit. I got a little bit carried away there. Like, sorry, everybody. I got a little bit overexcited. I just wanted to see that fight end. It went on for far too long. And unfortunately here for JLINGZ, maybe this series isn't going to go on much longer because Blackhand takes that first bottom mid-hill and, again, convincing fashion.
Tough start for Morguhhh, 0-5 here off of the opening. He'll want to correct that on these next few hills if JLINGZ is to stay alive, not only in the series, but of course also in the winner's bracket.
2 players on Glory, damage done to 1. Quadios will be in position to take him down though. Qristola and Quad now, the 2 Qs working together to try and get some time on the board. Mysta and EbbY trying to flow through, but this hill is one that you can certainly lock down. This is the kind of hill that JLINGZ will love.
Certainly. Quad going to make sure he does not get remote detonated, but of course it will cost him very valuable grenades that he could use from Sneaky into Hydro. Holding the angle, and over halfway down on the second hill, they look to tie this up.
Yeah, from Blackhand right now, I'm thinking maybe one more push, and then we'll just give this one up and try and rotate it
give it up, yeah.
to Elevator, and it looks like you say, this is what they've done. One more push maybe happening. EbbY's kind of thinking about locking down spawns for that next hill, and they do get the break, so maybe just the eye taken off the ball ever so slightly here by JLINGZ, and thinking they've given this one up, but Blackhand have another go, and it works for him.
I think Quad was thinking the same thing I might have been thinking there as well, and he actually did take his eyes off the long haul angle. And not over yet. Blackhand looks to take the second one. If they do, that could be the dagger.
That'll be it. Mentally, they would have been... I don't like using the term checks, but they will be checked out, to be honest with you, because look at how close it was. There was no need for JLINGZ to take their attention away, and they will only have themselves to blame if they let this second hill slip through their fingers. With Mysta trying to put pressure on, it looks like JLINGZ do finally get those final few points, but whew, boy, that was a lot closer than it should have been.
Too close for comfort indeed. A little bit of a grapple of the camo for Septiq, and off of the back of that point, the game tying point, they're going to look to continue rallying. Definitely wants to stay alive with this, especially with 2 dead. Septiq has a big opportunity here to pinch the spawners.
Need to go quick though, need to go quick. They've got numbers, Don't worry about what's behind you. Clean out those final 2 players inside of Elevator. Otherwise, you're not going to be getting that hill time. The long flank does come in and it's effective here for Septiq. They get all 4 dead. Those players coming off respawn. Glory's going to be 1 and it's a triple. Make it all 4 here, Septiq, but Qristola is going to steal it away.
Could have given him that one.
Should have given him that one.
Really could have given him the overkill there, but of course, it's all business here on Saturday, and they're not going to worry too much about the medals on screen, even though we all, to be honest, would have liked to have seen the overkill, but Septiq still hot with that shock rifle, so we'll take it.
Maybe this is what they needed. 1 player just to start to heat up. Septiq is that player. The elevator hill has been locked down completely by JLINGZ. There's a padlock on the door, there's security outside, and EbbY ain't getting into the club without a fight. Now you can see the final player, bottom tower. And I tell you what, JLINGZ talks about how a control-based game type might favor them a little bit more in this series. Blackhand starting to look a little bit ragged.
Definitely is. This is what JLINGZ needed. This is what we talked about. They needed a game type. And to be honest, a few months ago, it wasn't in the game. But now they've got a game type where they can take things 1 step at a time and not let the chaos and pressure of Blackhand overwhelm them. Now 2-1 here in favor of JLINGZ. Only 2 hills before they close out the game.
Yeah, a little bit of fortitude being shown here, to be honest, by JLINGZ, and finally they're starting to find a little bit of flow, a little bit of energy, and Blackhand for the first time in the series really find themselves on the back foot. The control has been fully in JLINGZ's hands for quite some time now, and the shock rifle has been the difference maker. And Septiq, I tell you what, this man is starting to warm up. He's 12-5 at the moment, and he is just shutting down these pushes from Blackhand.
Quad just needs to hold this. Don't get too creative, don't get too crazy, just hold control. That's exactly what he's doing. Pokes out, helps out with the kill alongside C stairs, and tucks back into control. That's the type of plays they need to do, just selfless plays, helping each other out to stay alive, to keep the numbers advantage.
Blue spawn's being controlled as well, so spawn's close to the hill means even if 1 player dies, there's going to be somebody in position to clean up some damage. Camo has been picked up. You saw Septiq kind of sniffed it out. He could feel that something was wrong in the area. He doesn't get the kill though. The beatdown and the communication should come in to make sure that Mysta doesn't get away, but look at this, he does get away. Glory gets a repulsor of 1 player off the map, but now 2 players flanking with Lunny in front means the setup will finally be broken.
Mysta right there, make sure he gets bonked by the repulsor, but not off the map. So they will continue scoring once again, especially with 2 dead, and they're not content just yet. Glory's going to sniff out Quad, or excuse me, try to do it. Quadios gets a double kill in a situation where they're overextended. That never should have happened. That's going to open things back up for JLINGZ.
So slows things down for just a second by picking up the kill onto Qristola, but as you say, the push really should start to come in now. Look how close this hill is, though. It's so hotly contested by both teams. A little shake of the head again, the animation coming in from Quad because he knows if he lives for a couple more seconds, the help was coming from his teammates, and now Morguhhh has work to do here at the back of blue.
Well, let's see. Lunny now versus Morguhhh in the back of the base. Two players been playing alongside and against each other a very long time. My God, just as messy as the entire series has been, but Morguhh's just going to Iron Man right back up top, let the shields recharge, or so he thought. He'll be taken down.
Yeah, those few seconds make a difference, right? If he gets that kill quicker, he can fight those two players. He can do damage that are flooding into the front from double stacks, and that's the little minute windows maybe you have to make a little bit cleaner here from JLINGZ if you want to really put the sword to Blackhand and force this series to a game 4. But at the moment, you can see they're controlling this hill pretty well. All the players spawning as far away from the hill as possible. Good damage from Quad inside of that hill. His players and his teammates should be able to clean up the damage.
Let's see how this goes. 2 dead for Blackhand, despite the fact that they sent numbers. It's a triple kill for Morguhhh here, looking for the last one as well.
He's challenging it. He wants it, and Glory is saying, do you know what? Let's square up. Let's have a little bit of a fisticuffs here in long haul. Septiq's going to be there to clean up that mess that was left. And now with the camouflage popping up, it's going to be 3-1 into the hands of JLINGZ. They convert the underpass hill as we move back to elevator.
JLINGZ starting to look a little bit more like themselves here. Camo in hand for Septiq yet again. Going to look to convert even more kills. They've had 2 dead. And I'm going to go back to the play where Glory is on danger during the bottom repulsor tunnel hill. Did he need to go all the way to danger from a battery's angle to kill Quadios? It opened them up entirely. Quadios gets a double kill when there were only 2 alive. Plays like that are going to cost you. They're going to eat you. And I tell you what, they do not want to watch this series later on this evening and think, my God, what if we had just closed it out in 3?
Lunny's last alive here, and he's doing some damage. Somehow he's still alive in the hill. I don't know what's happening here because JLINGZ had 3 dead, and Lunny was last alive for so time, and he was in the hill. Like, he was left there for far too long. He gets a double kill off the back of it, and now JLINGZ are kind of having to force themselves to fight the next wave of spawners instead of just scrapping up some free hill time. So just don't get complacent here, JLINGZ. Make sure that you're making all of the right plays, that you're keeping under pressure, and most importantly, you're keeping the objective in mind.
Septiq just trying to play high elevator here, does not want to drop into the depths of Whirlpool. And you can tell why. He can just shoot down here unsuspected and clean up the kills that he needs to.
Well, he's Glory, but again, no one's in the hill here for JLINGZ. They're just letting push after push after push come in. If you fight from the hill, you're still doing damage, but you're getting closer to winning the game.
This is the first time we've seen top gold this whole game, I think. That's the first time we've seen any player up there. As you
still there.
You could just tell how tightly contested around these hills these teams have been, just holding forward and flying at one another.
Septiq trying to pressurize from the batteries here. Morguhh's going to be flooding through the pipes as well. Qristola knows these players are pushing. And maybe the little reset, the little break was the best thing possible here for JLINGZ because they look a lot more comfortable here on the main stage.
Chris also with grapples to play with here, and I even see more grapples go down. Look at that, just perfect little use of the grapple. Try to stay alive, he can't. 3-1 still, but Blackhand not going down without a fight, but it's time we talk about the timer.
Certainly is. 34 seconds left on the clock here, and you can see that maybe JLINGZ thinking, don't worry about the hill. Let's just slay out. Let's just close this one out. Let's just take the time out of the hands and the game out of the hands of Blackhand. You can see that Blackhand know this game is done and dusted, and even with Lunny once again being the standout with 20 kills to his name, on the other side of things, finally the slaying prowess in an objective game for JLINGZ turns into a win here.
It does, and once again here, as Blackhand is unable to get that second hill, I think, which cost them a lot, and even the third hill as well, as the time will tick down. Going to go ahead and get a final decision there. It should be a clean win. We'll find out if there was also anything technical related on the stage, but as of right now, should be a JLINGZ win on the board, but we will get final confirmation on that.
Yeah, we'll get the official ruling on it, but I'm going to be honest with you, if I'm on Blackhand there and there was a slight problem right at the end of the game, I'd give him the game. It's as good as done. There was only around 15 seconds left, so hopefully that gets resolved as quickly as possible. But let's give a lot of credit to the gentleman you can see on the screen right now, because after losing the first game, in such a heartbreaking, closely fought encounter and then getting smacked to one side in the second, it's difficult to bounce back in a series and give yourself a lifeline. They did exactly that. They've made this series go a little bit longer, and now the thought starts coming to Blackhand's hands. Are we going to let this one slip through our fingers? Yeah. If this goes to another game, all of a sudden we're thinking this is a loss, or maybe we're going into the Na'Vi territory again with a series we'll be talking about afterwards we should have won.
Absolutely. Septiq, I believe, in that game, 21-10. The side of JLINGZ, can they do it here? Can they close it out quick? Can they get back to where they plan to be after 3 games? Right now it's 2-0 to remind everyone in favor of Blackhand in the series score officially, and we're getting ready to get back into King of the Hill Recharge. the continuation of that first game. JLINGZ will need 2, Blackhand will need 4. If JLINGZ is able to win here in our winners quarterfinals, the series will go to 2-1 and we'll head to a game 4. If somehow Blackhand is able to squeak out 4 hills before JLINGZ gets 2, they will 3-0 in the series.
Yep, that could be done and dusted. And a sincere thank you to everybody who's been waiting patiently for this game to get back underway. But the good news is the game is live. We're getting back into this one. It is going to be a winners bracket game in our championship bracket. JLINGZ looking for a little bit of redemption, I think, maybe in this game to close it out. They need those 2 hills to take the game and send us to a game 4.
Oh man, and these first few opening battles, these scraps are going to be so tight. It's so important here with JLINGZ only needing 2 points on the board. Let's see what the play for this camo looks like, and a little bit slower here. Lots of respect being shown.
Wow, look at those shots though coming in from Septiq. And oh boy, I was just about to say, I think there might be a little bit more spice in this game than we saw previously. And Glory's gonna feel the needles too. Oh, he's flexing those muscles. He's getting those legs nice and loose. And JLINGZ, and to be honest with you, I think they're a little bit pissed off here.
Septiq is ready to end this one. The entire JLINGZ side on the shake of the head as well from Quadios, not just in the player cam, but actually in your in-game cam as well. Thinking maybe the ruling should have been different. Maybe Blackhand should have been a little bit different with the admins about the result, but what's done is done. Here we are back into the continuation. JLINGZ off to an early lead.
It's amazing what sometimes a team needs to fire them up, right? Sometimes it is something just feeling a little bit disgruntled, like you're fighting against not only the team in front of you, but the world. But Blackhand, even though they lost those early kills, lost a couple of 1v1s, they're sat in the hill right now. And with a couple of seconds gone in this game, it's pretty much tied up.
Was 4 dead for JLINGZ there, and like you say, now it will be a lead on the first hill for Blackhand, and already a long haul control here. So wisely, it's going to be a long haul push for JLINGZ as they want to lock down areas like the sneaky as well as C-stairs. It's a great timing push from JLINGZ. 2 dead for Blackhand.
Yeah, really good stuff there actually from JLINGZ. Just taking that extra few seconds to clear certain areas of the map out so they can all push together. And those rotations are not going to be cut off at any point. A 1v1 being won by Lunny actually coming in to clean things up after we saw EbbY fall onto his back. And we're going to see Mysta now jump down into that hill. So Morguhh's got a really important job here. But Mysta is more than aware of where he is. A couple of grenades coming in, and the flank once again from Lunny, who always seems to be in the right spot at the right time.
And despite the fact that we saw a lot of back whacks and a little bit of extra love taps on the first kills from the side of JLINGZ, this first hill is about to tick over to Blackhand.
It is, and you just have to wonder if JLINGZ are going to be broken by that. Glory's trying to get the burn on that camo. There is a player inside the hill, though, from JLINGZ. Blackhand find themselves 2 dead. Quad is going to be able to take down Lunny, and he was the camo player. So life here for JLINGZ on that first hill. 3 dead for Blackhand.
Wow, 3 dead indeed here. Glory's now and also EbbY are the last 2 alive for just a second. That's a big win, though, for the side of Blackhand, and now it will be Glory jumping in. This should be it.
This will be it. So Blackhand, who just a little reminder, they need 4 points. They've got 1. And JLINGZ now have to rotate towards that long haul hill. That is a bitter, bitter pill to swallow.
This is getting nervy here, and you have to think JLINGZ, knowing they only need 2, did that swing the momentum in favor of Blackhand. Now, just like that, it's a 1 hill game.
Where are those spawns coming in? It looks like they're not anywhere near the hill for JLINGZ. Blackhand have control of that long haul. EbbY's on a little bit of a flank. Mysta putting pressure on. And Mysta stepping out of that hill just to make sure that he's allowing his teammates to get into position to do damage on that long haul. Glory versus Septiq. Really important battle here, and Septiq will win it, but there's EbbY to clean things up.
And on the side of JLINGZ, you have to wonder, can they dig deep? Can they find the resilience after losing that hill as well, and now find themselves losing long haul control? Can they get back into this? Are we going to see this game essentially tied if Blackhand gets this second hill?
Only gets 1, but that's going to be 2 dead here for Blackhand, so they should have a little bit of time inside of this hill. Septiq is set up at top gold. A really important win there from Qristola as well, but they need to deal with EbbY as quickly as possible. He's sliding in. Morguhhh should be able to get the finish, and now the setup is here, temporarily, at least for JLINGZ. But Lunny already pressurizing, already making decisions have to be made.
And look at Lunny just causing absolute chaos here and actually gets the repulsor for a second. All that time, there was no time for JLINGZ because of EbbY's push there through the sneaky. It's a great push, and we'll be just about tied here on the second hill.
JLINGZ have complete control, though, this side of the map now. This is a full setup. If they hold, which they should, to be honest with you, and they will be able to tie this game up at 1-1 and just move 1 hill away, remember, from closing out this game number 3. But a lot of work still to be done here by JLINGZ.
Septiq might be able to get away with a back whack here. What can Glory do with this camo, though? This is huge.
Doesn't want to step in that hill. Wow. And certainly doesn't want to step into the death screen. Quadios just sniffs him out. He has the camo sense and finds the body. Septiq finds 2 as well. That was 3 dead. Mysta coming off respawn. That was 4 dead. for Blackhand, and that is going to be the point they needed. So now JLINGZ find themselves just needing one more hill, excuse me, to close out this game and send us to game 4, but it is that elevator hill. Septiq trying to force inside, and look at this, it's 3 dead for JLINGZ, and we know how tough this hill is to break.
So back and forth between these two. Credit, of course, to JLINGZ for finding the resilience to get that second hill. Otherwise, things could have gotten pretty dangerous and sketchy for them, but now only 1 hill away from closing it out. But look how fast Blackhand is already controlling the bottom elevator. And
this isn't just a mechanical game, this is a psychological game at this point between these two teams, because with all due respect to JLINGZ, if I'm on Blackhand right now and I win any battle, I'm teabagging. I'm dropping a few extra bullets, and you know, the ruling's the ruling, you got to play to it, and it's all about winning these kind of situations, and they have an opportunity to do that, even though it may be a ruling that will be talked about for quite some time. Glory now pushing in, and look at that, 2-1 now. You are going to see that hill be converted without too many problems by Blackhand.
Just like that now, the game changes quite a bit. 1 hill required for JLINGZ, 2 required for Blackhand, and slowly inching their way back into this one.
You can see the look on my face right now.
You should.
There's a grimace.
It's the only way to describe it. I think it's very similar to the look on the face of the JLINGZ fans, because things are getting down to the wire.
Look who's in the hill. Look who's in the hill. It's going to be Blackhand as well, and they have a lead. There's 3 minutes left, and now the problem is here for Blackhand is, even if they do convert this hill, they can't play time at any point. They don't have the opportunity to play time because they have to lock down 4 hills consecutively. So they've got to do the work for all of this game. They have to be efficient, and now JLINGZ make the break. It's 3 dead here for Blackhand. Mysta already have spawned, and KotH's already got the information those pipe spawns are going to be where they need to put those attention.
And a shock camo play here for Septiq. Certainly the hill in his hands here.
Glory gets taken down. Pressure though, Morguhhh should be in position to clean that up and keep Septiq alive. And look at that bar just ticking up once again here for JLINGZ. It looks like justice will be done, by the looks of things, in my opinion anyway, for JLINGZ. They will close things out here. That will be the end of the game. And even in what was one of the most emotional moments that we've probably seen for the players to deal with on JLINGZ, we actually see a pretty much expressionless look on the face of KotH for the first time.
Absolutely there, and you can tell they were just happy to have that one over with, and maybe in their opinion a little bit extra work required on Recharge, but regardless, they get the job done, they do it confidently, and we now will resume 2-1 in favor of Blackhand. We are going to game number 4. JLINGZ looking to force a game number 5 and complete the reverse sweep, which I tell you what, right now they would love to do based on the shakes of the head.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think we're going to game 5 because we've got Bazaar capture the flag coming up next. And like I mentioned, the game types, which are kind of a step-by-step process, that's where JLINGZ looks strong, where they don't have to kind of play this free-form, you know, floody kind of halo that we're seeing from Blackhand, and Blackhand need to find a little bit of organization here because King of the Hill did not look like a strong suit for them whatsoever.
Absolutely not, and we'll have to see what they can do. Like you said, a little bit more structured of a game type, especially Bazaar CTF. This is going to play different from something like an Aquarius CTF, where Blackhand can run the chaos game. They can run the pushes, they can make sure that they're sneaking players through bottom pink and less suspecting areas. On Bazaar, it's a lot harder to do. Your overextenders cannot really do much alone. You'll have to fly together, you'll need to work together. It's going to be a little bit more of a chess match on Bazaar, and as you say, that will lend right into the hands and the strengths of JLINGZ.
Well, it's almost as if justice was served, right? We're in a position now that, you know, I'm sure a lot of people were thinking we could have been in a little bit earlier than we find ourselves, but it is 2-1. And we do have the game 4 in front of them. There's some of the replays that we did see from both games of Recharge, King of the Hill, and to be honest with you, looking at the result, it was the right one, not only because of, you know, maybe some of the controversy that was surrounding it, but also with the way that JLINGZ played. They deserved that win without doubt.
Certainly there, you see there, almost an overkill opportunity coming in, and they don't care who gets the kills as long as the kills are on the board, and JLINGZ did look very strong in this game type, and even when they found themselves taking more deaths than they wanted, and here's some of the back whacks. By the way, shout out to observers and replay for getting us all this, because that gives you an idea of how they were feeling.
100%, a little bit ticked off, a little bit displeased, whatever you want to say. I'm sure if you gave Lunny the opportunity to maybe say what he thought, the colourful language would fly again. But now we get to game 4, finally, and we're going to get Capture the Flag Bazaar on our screens. And I tell you what, if this is tied up when we get to game 5, the fact that it is Slayer Aquarius, all the momentum will be with JLINGZ. But then you look at it and it's like, this seems like a Blackhand game type. So this series has got a lot of life in it yet.
It certainly does. It's been a fantastic one so far, and could not be happier to see it extended into game number 4 as we're about to get underway. Bazaar CTF. It'll be our first time casting this game type all weekend, and we'll have to see what JLINGZ has in store, or will BLVKHVND find a way to match their organization, counter that, and get a few flags on the board.
Will it be the black and white of JLINGZ here, or will it be the white and black of BLVKHVND who do take this next game? If it's BLVKHVND, it will be, of course, the series going to them. They will progress in that winner's bracket, and you're seeing some of the dangerous, highly ranked teams that are waiting in that winner's bracket as well to try and progress the matchup against them. Or will JLINGZ send us to a Game 5? I'm going to be honest with everyone right now at home. I want to see a Game 5.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'd be one of the most entertaining Game 5s we'll probably see at the whole event with everything that's gone on in the last couple of hours. So let's see it. I mean, I don't want to be biased, but let's go JLINGZ.
I want to see a Game 5 as well. I won't say which team I'm rooting for in game number 4, but I certainly want to see a game number 5. I think a lot of people...
I'm kidding everyone, by the way. I'm right, okay?
I'm not kidding. I want to see a game number 5. I think a lot of people in the arena here at DreamHack Valencia want to see a game number 5 as well. And also now Morguhhh going to try to pop up and counter those rockets. It's an early overshield grab coming in for EbbY, but I think a lot of people watching on home and Twitch and YouTube as well do want to see that game number 5, because you'd see some people popping off and a little bit of trash talk exchange across the stage, which actually might be inevitable at this point.
You had to bring up Twitch chat, didn't you? Because I know what they're saying right now. Cast a bias, cast a bias. All right, I get it. I hear you. I see you, all right? I'm sorry.
But
anyway,
you're owning it so much that I don't even think you have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, let's get back into this game. And early on, it's going to be a pretty aggressive push actually coming in from BLVKHVND. This is one thing that will be interesting to see. Are they going to be a little bit unorthodox with some of these flag runs? Are they going to be hyper-aggressive in the way that they try and collapse on these final spawns? Well, at the start of this game, BLVKHVND have full control of the map, and they have the flag running. And if they can deal with Septiq, then they might be able to get this flag back to the base.
A little bit of a slower run. I think they could have run that flag a little bit faster. We'll have to see if it costs them and bites them in the back here.
Septiq did such a good job, though. He killed the flag carrier on that run and then managed to buy enough time and milk his life long enough for the rest of his team to get back involved. And now Septiq finds himself as last alive once more, but he's got to do a lot more work, and he somehow is still alive. Lunny has to overextend now to pick up that kill, but Mysta in position to get this flag back to the base. And even though it was scrappy, even though it was a complete and utter mess, all that matters is that BLVKHVND have that flag on the board.
BLVKHVND on the board in a big way, and what you thought was a slow flag run, it certainly was a slower flag run. They took forever to get the flag to Tree Bridge, but eventually, whether it was intentional or not, it baited out the flag perfectly, and Septiq was alive the entire time while his 3 teammates died twice.
Yeah, from Septiq right there, I'm going, anyone? Anyone want to try to help me out a little bit here? Obviously, the situation unfolds, a little bit differently on other players' screens than what we maybe see, but EbbY, 6 and 4, not affected by the teabagging that he received in that previous game. He's here for blood.
Certainly is, and maybe even fired up by the love taps that he saw on his death screen. Septiq trying to come in now. He decides, I don't need teammates, I just need a bulldog here. I'm taking it to the front door, and he's going to try to knock some door downs. Also looking for an overshield grab as well. Perfect timing to go into an Astro listening with JLINGZ.
I'm going grapple. I'm going bomb. Give me a sec, bro.
Yes. I'm just chilling. He's low.
Is that bar bridge? Yeah, bro, look at that.
I'll shoot bar bridge.
I'm moving clear. First one shot. I'm trying to get teammate. Live up. Absolutely, the flag. Flag's the one shot dead.
Sidebar, Lunny.
Yeah, bro, yeah, I hear. Run this slow, run this slow. Shoot on!
Last guy Mysta.
Oh, mate. Sorry, mate.
Glory spawn.
One shot the dubs right now, Mysta. Absolute Mysta. Nice, go low. Together, go together.
Behind me down. Look for Glory. Glory was first. Glory was first. Glory's dead. Look for Glory. Behind me, guys. Behind me, honestly.
You're good.
I'm watching outside.
Good bomb. Rocks are coming up.
Rockets in 5, boys.
I will come back with you, Pete. I'm coming back with Pete.
One on rockets right now.
I'll double Glory. Keep going. I got him.
Might be your elbow, guys. I'm trying
to elbow.
Might be your bar, right?
He's wasted a rocket on me.
Careful bar.
He's sidebar with rocket. One rocket, Lunny.
I'll double.
As we get back into the game, it's going to be JLINGZ who tie things up, and we got the opportunity to listen to them for the entirety of that flag run. And I mentioned at the start of the game, will BLVKHVND be a little bit, you know, unconventional in the way that they want to try and approach this and run some flags, but it's actually JLINGZ who run it down through the shotgun and take an unorthodox route.
Really great prioritization there as well as they're running that flag bar. You heard the comms. Where's Glory? Glory's the player you're looking for. Identifying the only player that had a chance to stop the flag. They did a double doors push there at the end. That was not enough here, but BLVKHVND looks to counter.
2 dead here for JLINGZ as well. Quadios and Qristola have to be dealt with. Overshield's going to be coming up as well. So this is a really interesting part of the game because decisions have to be made, right? Do we run this flag? Do we try and force it home and kind of concede the overshield? Or do we use it as bait? Do we try and fight for the overshield on our way back? Because if Black can't get the Ovi with this flag out, then this should, without a doubt, be a flag conversion.
Oh boy, miscommunication there. Take a look at that. And actually, Lunny thought he was grabbing the overshield and going to continue the run, but EbbY actually snakes it with the grapple, which delays this run. The flag now has to be grabbed immediately, and it gets returned. It's a huge blunder and one of the worst we've seen all weekend. A terrible miscommunication coming in on the side of Blackhand.
You cannot let that happen. You cannot let that happen. I don't know how it's happened. It was so simple for them to convert that flag, and now, who's running the flag home? This is just embarrassing. I've got to say, embarrassing decision-making and communication coming in from Blackhand, and JLINGZ are like, I don't know how it's happened. We're 2-1 up.
Cannot believe what we just saw. JLINGZ knew they lost that overshield battle. They had no presence on the overshield whatsoever. In fact, Blackhand had numbers all over the truck. EbbY snaking away the overshield, which if they had reacted quickly, they still could have converted on that. EbbY and Lunny just needed to switch. EbbY could have gone straight to truck for the overshield, grabs the flag, and Lunny could have patrolled bottom middle, but they waited about 3 or 4 seconds. Now they're down 2-1.
I agree with everything you're saying, but it's like, it didn't even have to make quick decisions. It could have been like a conversation that should have happened 2 or 3 times, and someone go, no, go get the flag. As it was out, and I mean, Blackhand have got to shake that one off. They do have the kills that they need to run this one down through the trenches, but a missed opportunity, maybe they may rue, but for now, at least Blackhand have the opportunity to tie things up, and when you do get that next flag on the board, at least it kind of puts that decision-making into the back of your mind. It's tied up at 2-2 here. Blackhand showing resolve.
Exactly, that's a huge cap, and they bounce back right away after that. You have to think if time goes by or they concede again, it really could sit in the back of their mind. Nice needles from Septiq on the side of JLINGZ, and that will be 3 dead for the side of Blackhand as they will now look to counter on the side of JLINGZ.
Lunny's spawned as well. Rockets coming up, and if they get Rockets and the overshield here, then JLINGZ might be in position, but Lunny is first alive. Has done such a great job here, not only to survive, but to pick up a kill and get Rockets here. So Lunny, a huge play from him. They give up the overshield. He fires a rocket, doesn't connect, but the BR is good enough.
Perfect use of the thrust as well. Qristola will finally get that cleaned up, though. Here we are tied 2-2.
Morguhhh's going to get a pull here. 3 dead again for Blackhand, and with 5 minutes and 30 seconds or so left on the clock, I've got to be honest, this is one of the most action and, what would I say, just interesting, we'll use that word, games of Bazaar Capture the Flag I've seen. It has been full of dramatic moments, but it leaves us in a position where the next flag could be the one that really puts the pressure onto the opponent.
You could argue this game, once again, should not be tied. Thank goodness for Blackhand fans that they are able to get the cap on the board, but they might say this game really should be 2-1 still in their favor.
Well, EbbY just trying to survive for now. Wait for those shields to come back. Quadios is going to be the furthest player forward here for JLINGZ, trying to put some pressure on, but the entirety of the mid-map is going to be controlled here by Blackhand. That little kill there is going to create an opening for Lunny to be aggressive, for the rest of the team to push on those spawners, and EbbY is still in possession of that shotgun. The Bulldog will be barking once more, and he's making sure that he's just clearing out areas for the rest of Blackhand to push from.
Ooh, nice little grapple from EbbY, but just turns around at the wrong time, so he can't get a Bulldog shot off. That will give JLINGZ a man advantage and an opportunity to push back out.
Septiq is taken down by Lunny. The Plasma Pistol doing just enough in that position, and Lunny adds another kill to his collection. He's 16-7 at the moment, and I've got to be honest, at times in this series, even though Blackhand as a team collectively have been playing well, Lunny has been dragging them through some of the toughest moments.
I mean, right here we are tied 2-2, and one of your best players is up +9. I mean, there's no doubt that he's been a huge influence in this game as EbbY tries to deal some more damage from Bridge.
Another kill falls to Blackhand. Consistent pressure for the last kind of 30, 60 seconds. It's been all pressure on the JLINGZ base. They've held strong enough for now. As EbbY turns his attention, snaps onto the head of Septiq to pick up yet another kill. What that means is Overshield is now possessed by Lunny. They need to make something of this, though, with just 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. We're starting to get into the territory now of how this game has gone, and with the timing on the flags, where if they get this next flag on the board, it could be the game winner.
Lunny does not go bridge there. He actually drops down, and as a result, they lose 2 players in tree. He gets a double off the back of it, but this is going to be a little bit more of a complicated run now.
Complicated, but look at the damage that he's doing. He's now going to create the distraction. He's now going to get that flag moving, but the respawner, or the rat back, I should say, excuse me, from Quadios is enough to slow him down. So I agree with you. I think just maybe the timings or the pushes were a little bit off from numerous players. And once again, look at the counter cap. Not for the first time. We've seen an overextension from Morguhhh that might be the one thing that separates these 2 teams and gets that flag on the board and the lead here to JLINGZ.
He's got thrusted dynamos as well. They dynamo the front door. That will delay that just a bit. He needs to make sure he's staying alive bottom mid because they have 2 dead.
He's also aware the rockets are coming up, so this is a very important moment for him. Mysta's going to get caught off, but GloryGGz is there. Can he finish the kill? No, he cannot, but he turns his attention to the touch.
Ooh, the
Gonna be a
grapple
grapple instead, but no! The grapple breaks, and Morguhhh has to force his way through the double doors, and JLINGZ lose 2.
What a blunder here. 2 dead for each side. This next kill will determine if this flag goes home or not. Quadios versus Mysta. He's going to try to jump on the re, but maybe a bit too early.
He's got the rockets, though. He's got the rockets. Fires one wildly. Another touch comes in here for JLINGZ. They get that flag through the double doors. Morguhhh collects more, and Morguhhh now is last player alive. The question is, will he be able to beat Blackhand? Can he get this cap on the board and give them the lead? Yes, he can!
Oh my God, Morguhhh with the solo effort through the double doors. He was the last player alive for so long, about 10 seconds. Avoids the damage from the grenades, but now Blackhand looks to counter off the JLINGZ 2 dead.
4v2 on the map, flag moving. Blackhand, you cannot afford to make mistakes anymore. You need to convert, but...
Did not pop the Ovi. EbbY delays the pop of the Ovi. It's not the first time he's done it this series. And it goes to JLINGZ. Oh my God.
I mean, when you say you cannot make a mistake and the next thing that happens is a mistake, if you lose this game, you've only got yourself to blame. I mean, we've seen it numerous times now from Blackhand where they should have had everything they needed to cap. And somehow with 1 minute 30 left on the clock, they're down by 1.
Game is not over, but we're going to have to see at the end if we can get that on replay because I cannot believe the sequences we have seen. Lunny running what could be a game-tying flag, but they're 2 dead.
Qristola's in a position to chase this down as well. EbbY falls, Lunny falls as well, so he was the one player that had to be dealt with here by Blackhand, by JLINGZ from Blackhand. And now it's a case of 60 seconds or so left for one more push from Blackhand, but the pressure and the mid-map control is all JLINGZ. EbbY has to fly out, and Glory picks up another, and I tell you what, if this game has taught me anything, with the way that these teams have been making mistakes and doing crazy stuff, I get the feeling there might be another opportunity at the flagpole here for Blackhand.
It's not over yet. 46 seconds left, which might feel like an eternity for JLINGZ. Like you say, based on the pressure that's coming in from Blackhand. Qristola doing everything he can to stay alive.
EbbY's going to be challenging him. The Bulldog will win the fight, though. Mysta last alive. That might have just been enough, but Mysta is being sneaky. And JLINGZ have no idea where he is.
They might be going back to look for him. He shoots at a time where it's going to be identified right away. You have to think with 21 seconds left, he needed to sneak through there.
20 seconds though. It's a little bit more time than you think sometimes. Has he bought his teammates enough time to get across the map? That's the question. It's a 3v3, 10 seconds to go. JLINGZ are going to be turtling up in the base. The Dynamos are going to do some tick damage. Lunny picks up one. Septiq will fall as well. And with 4 seconds left, Lunny is desperately trying to get a touch on that flag. 3 players fall towards him, and Quadios with the ball!
A triple kill to end it. There he is, standing up on the stage. He wants to let him know. We had a feeling that might come before the series was over based on the tensions here on the main stage, and it's a win in the end. Coach Jerome stoked as well. Lunny making sure the team isn't down on themselves there. But my God, JLINGZ will take game number 4. They will force a game number 5. It's a triple kill from Quad on the flag stand to deny any last-second run. You called it, that flag run was coming.
Yeah.
Quadios said no. A triple kill at the doorstep. But my God, I cannot wait to see some of the highlights from that game because that was filled with the full range of emotions of plays I was wildly impressed by and also plays I was wildly disappointed by.
I feel like I'm almost watching a Netflix documentary at the moment with this series, to be honest. It's just, there's been so much to talk about. So much good, so much bad, so much controversy, and the best part is we've still got the final episode to get to, and that's going to be a game 5 here on the main stage, and it's Aquarius Slayer. It's so funny how these things work, right? We look at that series lineup and we're like, okay, JLINGZ have an opportunity to get back into this one. It was a very, very narrow win for them in the game 4. Now all the momentum is with them. All the momentum in the world is with JLINGZ. But BLVKHVND will look at this game type and think, maybe this is a chance.
Watch this. Lunny delays the run because of the overshield there. EbbY cannot get back before it returns. And if either thing could have happened there, Lunny could have brought it through lockers, they could have rushed it there, but it cost them because it allowed JLINGZ to counter on them, and from the rest of the game, BLVKHVND is on the back foot after that moment.
So many crazy moments in this game, and even here, you know, Lunny gets this double kill with the overshield, someone wraps back, and I don't even know what was happening at the end
grapple run here.
Failed grapple, failed rocket.
Look at Morguhhh.
Morguhhh, last alive, 3 players chasing him, somehow gets another touch off his respawn and runs that flag
Look
home.
at this, overshield
But this is it. That's a misplay. You got to pop the OV. Even if you're not sure, pop the OV.
EbbY also, you might have caught it earlier in this series on live fire. EbbY was also late popping. Here's the triple, by the way, from Quad. He will have none of that last flag run. And as we said, also stands up and a little bit extra there on the main stage as well.
That's the 3-for-1.
Look at this series. My God, what a series it's been. Our first match of bracket play, and it has teed up the rest of the EU finals so well. 2-2. JLINGZ and BLVKHVND are tied. We go to a series-deciding game number 5.
Oh, we really do. And I tell you what, there's been a few games on the stage today, with all due respect to the teams involved, that have been very, very one-sided. I don't think we're going to see many of those series anymore, because this is where we're really starting to get into the good stuff here in the European finals. And I tell you what, this is going to be a nuts game. This is going to be a nuts game, and I just feel like I can't pick how it's going to go. I cannot pick how this is going to go, just because of the fact that BLVKHVND will love this game type. They can flood as a team. They can put pressure onto JLINGZ. But they've just lost 2 back-to-back games. You could argue they've technically lost almost 3 back-to-back games.
They've lost for the last hour, I think, is actually how they're feeling right now. But it's going to be JLINGZ, who's also, keep in mind, they can fly together. We've seen them with very, very good movement flying across the map together. Actually, on Aquarius yesterday as well. Can they bring that once again? Can they close this series out? If they do, they will reverse sweep BLVKHVND and send them to the loser's bracket.
Reverse sweep on the line. Game 5 is live here in Valencia. It's JLINGZ and BLVKHVND. And who's got the cojones to step up in this final game and really put on a performance to talk about for some time? I get the feeling it might be this man, Quadios. Finishing the game with a triple kill like that, he's going to be brimming with confidence.
Quite a statement there, and once again, we talked about it on the side of JLINGZ, a little bit more veteran experience here. They've been here before for many years, the better part of or longer than a decade on the side of JLINGZ. Can they shut the young guns down?
3-0 was the initial break. 1 kill does go into the favor of BLVKHVND, make that 2, but the most important thing to take away, the power-up is in the hands of Septiq. We've already seen him on Recharge do some damage, and Lunny had to win that one, and he does.
Lunny, the exclusive veteran on the BLVKHVND side. More extra melees coming in as well. This is a spicy series.
Let's see what EbbY can do then. Let's see what he's got in the bag. He's got a heat wave for now, which is certainly going to be an advantage in those close-range fights in and around those gens. Morguhhh should be dealt with. He will be dealt with, and all of a sudden we're at tie game. What else would you expect?
EbbY's got a lot to play for here. Let's not forget, EbbY was the one who snaked that overshield. He's also the one that didn't pop the overshield. He has to get that out of his head and focus on game number 5 here.
So he needs to play smart. Cannot let the emotion get the better of him. He needs to make sure that you keep that heat wave in your hands. For now, he's not going to be able to do so as the pressure does flood in. It's 10-8, a 2-kill difference between the 2 teams, but it's JLINGZ in red on your screen who have that 2-kill advantage.
11-8 and 11-9 now as kills will be exchanged in the gen once again. Taking a look across the board, it's really Septiq on your screen who's standing out right now. He's 6-1.
In a 1v1 with EbbY, and he'll win that one as well. Glory now trying to survive. He's being hunted down, but the next power-up is going to be coming up in a few seconds' time. I think you might have just heard it being popped in the background. Don't know if it was a burn or if someone does have it in their possession, but for now, it's Quad who will watch him through the POV of still that slender 2-kill advantage for JLINGZ. It turns into just 1.
Camo still up top mid. This is a big camo, 15-13. Only a 2-kill game, and Lunny tries to snake away with it. I don't think he got the burn.
It did not get
the burn fast enough, so it will still be up top middle.
Septiq gets taken down. No one's still in position to maybe sweep that one up for now. EbbY's moving across top middle. Maybe he's going to make a desperate dive for it. Is he going to give the kill away? Yes, he is. Septiq, of all players who was last in the fight for camo, is the one who wins the fight for the next one as well. Not sure if anyone's managed to get that pop yet. Finally, around 35 seconds after that camo is introduced onto the map as the next power-up is going to be JLINGZ who get it in their hands. And not only that, Andy, it's a 5-kill advantage for them as well.
Quad going to wisely do what I do late night, check the fridge first. Now here's the movement, finds one, finds two, gets them both weak, converts on one. The nade might tick as well. Dynamos are in play, 2 dead. So far a great push, they might get 3, 4 dead. It's a 4-for-2 trade, and JLINGZ will take that every day of the week. They take the lead 24-17.
And information already being relayed to teammates here by Morguhhh. Spots out the spawners, gets shots onto Lunny, trying to survive, but you have to give credit to BLVKHVND there. The way that they've hunted him down and given themselves room is good enough to at least allow them to fight fairly. But Qristola, though, he's doing so much damage bottom middle at the moment, and look at the score. It's now a 8-kill lead here for JLINGZ.
My God, and if you're just joining us here, you picked a great time to join. BLVKHVND was up 2-0 in this series, and now JLINGZ only 23 kills away from committing the reverse sweep. Only a few kills to go here in a 10-kill lead. Let's see what JLINGZ sounds like here with an Astro listening.
They're not nice. Nice. 2 dead right now. 2 up.
Alright, come on, guys. P2, me. You guys here? I'm under here.
I'm looking. Give me a sec.
It's P2, push it. Push it.
One, guys.
Still P2.
K1.
P1 now, EbbY.
K2 weak.
Yeah, come on. Play this game.
L1 right now, Rob. L1 one shot, boys. L1 one shot. Nice one. Good trade.
Oh, come on, Lunny, one shot. P2. From base.
One shot P1. Missed.
Break. I think I'll be down. L1. He's in the break. He's in the break. Still R1. Just telling out like an idiot.
No more devs.
He's going to
Still Streams coming in.
Can we get a base? From base as well, Lunny, from base.
Try to get Rob.
No, just sorry.
Not here.
I'm with you, Rob. Give me a sec.
On low gen. Show him say
let's play out Gem.
Glory weak in Gen. And I got P2 P. Push me P, I think.
Trying to help you P.
I don't see Jen. He's probably on the...
Can't lift P.
Probably on the right.
P1 P.
Here, man.
L1, EbbY. Come on, me absolute.
Fire one shot.
Come on, me absolute. You're fucking terrible. One in the fridge. Live up. Red flag. Fridge.
I'm flanking for
Two weak on that.
You run back to flag.
Still there.
Coming in, red.
You're terrible. That's what you want to hear. You can hear the JLINGZ are getting hyped, and understandably so, the camo player just lost Septiq in the source. The beatdown battle was won by the man on your screen, and now you are seeing JLINGZ 8 kills up, just closing in on that reverse sweep.
And they were getting nervous there. Lunny gets the camo. They have about 6 unanswered, and the game gets a lot closer on the side of BLVKHVND. As you said, Lunny unable to locate Septiq, certainly with some choice words for him across the stage. And just like that, it's an 8-kill game. Only 12 kills to go before JLINGZ may hit the reverse sweep.
Septiq is, you can see the way he's playing. He just wants to find targets right now. He is feeling confident. He is shooting clean, and there is another one. It's 15 kills in a game 5 so far for Septiq.
42-32, 10-kill lead. Confidence on the face of Septiq. He flies into the base, even while he's screen watching. Great damage. Not over yet, though. We'll see if BLVKHVND has what it takes, because 3 dead for JLINGZ. And just like that, it's an 8-kill game.
This is the opening that they need. BLVKHVND need to take advantage of it, though. Morguhhh surviving, manages to take no splash damage from the grenade that was thrown in by EbbY as well, so he's not going to have any information. Morguhhh just playing the corners, making sure he's in a position to try and trade, and you have to give him credit here. Done a really good job, but now Mysta picks up one. Lunny's going to be challenging, and this is getting closer. This is getting closer. It's 42-37, and BLVKHVND are making a comeback.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how they all find the time to give the extra taps. It's 38-42. This was just an 11-kill lead for JLINGZ, and now it's a 4-kill game. Heat wave in hand for Mysta as well.
Qristola dealt with Mysta and EbbY. It's a 2-kill game. A killing spree here for Mysta, but Septiq again with 17 kills to his name wants to carry JLINGZ through to this game 5 win.
Making a 3-kill game. It's a huge exchange of kills, but somehow Lunny gets his 3rd camo in a row, and the 2nd one that he gets away with. 2-kill game. Series in his hands.
Series in the hands. Quadios is dealt with. Septiq comes in with the trade. Lunny gets 2. It's 1 kill. He's getting ticked. He's getting picked. And it's going to be Qristola who gets taken down. We're tied up with 4 kills to go.
This is unbelievable. This will now slow down just a bit for a second after these kills get exchanged. Quad wants a challenge. 47-46.
Septiq again, the difference maker here. It's 1 kill, the difference between these two teams. It's 1 mistake. It's 1 big play, and Quadios is going to make a play. Another kill gets traded out, though. It's a battle in the Gen Glories. The flank comes in from Qristola! And that will be what is needed for JLINGZ to complete the reverse sweep. It has been an epic series between the two teams. My goodness. What a start to the winners bracket.
Look at the boys on JLINGZ, a quick huddle before they even get across the stage. These boys are hyped. As you said, the reverse sweep, it was a marathon of a series. and they will win 3-2 after being down 2-0.
And what a man to make the play to win the game. Jersey said it right at the start of this show, saying Qristola's spot was under pressure. He's turned up in the biggest of pressure situations to flank, to get that final double kill, to show that clutch factor that maybe his teammates wanted to see from him. And after an epic series, the reverse sweep is completed and JLINGZ will stay alive in the winner's bracket.
And the JLINGZ Game 5 Slayer win story continues. If you missed yesterday, they beat Navi 50-47. Not Navi, excuse me. They won their Game 5 50-47 in pool play. Now they win a Game 5 50-48, and they're just hanging on, but they're still winning.
But let's take a second here. Blackhand, how you gotta be feeling right now? You go 2 up in the series. Bazaar capture the flag. The amount of mistakes and flags that should have gone back to their base. And that's the second Game 5 you have lost against one of the highest seeded teams in the tournament. So close.
I believe their Navi series was also 50-48 Game 5.
50-48 Game 5.
Yeah.
When you look back though, it's just the number 2, excuse me, in the loss column.
Yeah. My God, what a series here. An absolute pleasure to see that one play out on the main stage. And JLINGZ in the end, they close it out, 50-48 Game 5.
They close it out, and I've got to say that was a lot of fun to cast. An amazing series from 2 amazing teams, but the reverse sweep is completed. JLINGZ stay alive in the winner's bracket. Let's go back to the desk so we can catch our breaths.
Indeed, gents, please do catch your breath because we have a couple more series coming our way after this one. But my goodness, I've got to say that might have been worth the wait. That was pretty exceptional, I've got to say. Gaskin, honestly, I have a player on my mind right now from JLINGZ. And personally, I think he's the Superman of this roster, and that is Septiq. I feel like the second he started heating up, things started turning around, and it really did happen from King of the Hill. He was creating major openings for the team to be able to get that objective work done, get in there, take control, and it really went on from there. This guy didn't let off at all. And then the rest of the team followed. What did you make of the series overall, dude?
I mean, Onset is one of the best commentators in the game and very rarely repeats himself. But he was saying, Septiq again, because it was literally unfolding in front of us. The entries that Septiq was getting for this team, the important kills that he was hitting, it was so integral for their victory, for their comeback. And without that, it could have been a very different series. And whilst every member of JLINGZ played a part, Septiq definitely was the leading force in some of those maps. An incredible performance from him, and he showed his experience. He showed his veteranship there.
He definitely did. On the other side of things, though, Lethal, Blackhand, you know, they had an exceptional start, to be perfectly honest, against JLINGZ. Livefire Slayer wasn't an exception to that either. I mean, incredible slaying ability, and they looked like powerhouses. I mean, 50-32 finish there for that second map. What did you make of it?
They literally had a dream start. You couldn't ask for any more. Every single overshield. Lunny did the most damage. Mysta has been the absolute pain in the backside of his support play. Everything was just picking apart. And the problem is the fact that the bait and switch was actually 10 times better. And then all suddenly, after Game 3, things took a turn for the worse. And I must say this, though, even though Blackhand will drop into the loser's bracket, they will cause some massive, massive trouble. And even though Lunny had one of the best series of his life, you saw the turnaround there straight away. And even them Septiq playing a lot more intellectual plays. And of course, Quadios playing absolutely like a complete machine throughout the entire thing, mostly from Game 4 and 5, where he stepped things up massively.